What if Deku joined Team JPDE? Chapter 22. What are you? Saturday. Day 69. Evelyn was still sleeping, and Penny had gone for her weekly checkup. I really don't feel like studying, Jack said. Me either, David said. And I don't feel like being Evelyn's body pillow. And since we can't leave the school, why don't we go on a walk or something, Deku said. Beats staying cooped up in our room until we go crazy, Jack said. Deku then escaped Evelyn's grasp and got changed. The three of them walked around Beacon. Learn for your thought, David asked. When the headmaster told me I'd have to attend his school for the next year, I thought, well, I'll be able to relax, Jack said. Never thought you'd get in this kind of mess, Deku asked. No, but I'm glad I did. I didn't think I'd like being on a team this much. I have collaborated with other orphans before, but I've never stuck together with someone for so long. And now I also have a lead on my sister, after thinking her dead for so long. You should have dropped out of the sky long ago, David, Jack said. Sorry, wasn't up to me. I could do without the would-be kidnappers, though. Speaking of which, I wonder what Penny meant by putting her foot down, David said. Isn't it obvious, Jack asked. Not exactly, David said. It's actually something me and Penny spoke about while you were with Evelyn. It's time to stop being pushed around. So far we've only been reacting to things and gathering information. Which is actually the modus operandi of the headmaster, now that I think about it. Curse all these years working for him. But that's not enough. All the mind games, dancing around the issue and each other, waltzing into the enemy's den, not wanting to expose ourselves. It's only a matter before someone gets hurt. Restraint is no longer on the menu. What Penny has in mind is a show of strength, Jack said. You mean alone? But didn't she, David said. Oh my. What a coincidence. Hello again, a voice said. The voice belonged to the woman from the night when they got grounded. What a nice surprise. How have you been? Did you find your friend? Was she okay, the woman asked. Yes, miss. And we're doing good enough, thank you, Deku said. You got in trouble for being out so late on a school day, didn't you, the woman asked. How did you know that, David asked. I'm a mother, my dears. These kind of situations aren't a novelty. Although, I would have personally given you a pass this one time, considering the motives of your outing. Oh. Look at me ramble on without introducing myself. My name's Madonna, the woman said. Nice to meet you, Miss Madonna. My name's David Dik Begis, David said. I'm Ijuku Midoriya, but some call me Deku, Deku said. I'm Jaculine B. Ivory, but friends call me Jack. Thank you again for your help, Jack said. Oh, nonsense. And my, Jacqueline is such a pretty name. And you are a very pretty young girl, Madonna said. Thanks, miss. My father gave it to me, Jack blushed. Is this cute and handsome young man your boyfriend, Madonna asked. No, we're not. I mean, I'm not her boyfriend, Deku said. He's my partner, Jack said. Oh. You mean as in, Beacon curriculum partner? But why? You'd make such a nice couple, Madonna said. I guess, but I'm also his leader, also David is my partner, and he's already got two, Jack said. Excuse me. He's already got two, what, Madonna asked. Two girlfriends. Which are also the same girls I'm dating, David said. Polyamory. In real life. In a school setting. My dear boys, you two simply must tell me more, Madonna said. Deku and David couldn't reply after Madonna's sudden interest in them. Miss, why did you come to Beacon, Jack asked. Oh, that's true. Goodness, I was almost forgetting, Madonna said. How did you know Penny was a Beacon student? David asked. Not many other places and aura user that young can be staying at, in Vale, Madonna said. So you could feel her aura. You're a hunter, Jack said. Retired. And to answer your first question, I'm here looking for a student. I would very much welcome your help, Madonna said. Sure. We owe you one, after all, Deku said. And while we walk, you two can tell me more about your love life, Madonna said. Penny's checkup was now over, and she was now in the dormitory halls with General Ironwood. Thanks again, General, Penny said. As always. Penny, a moment, if you please, Ironwood said. Yes, General, Penny said. I wanted to tell you that your father has decided to come visit us, Ironwood said. He has. That's wonderful. I've missed him so much and I have so many things to tell him, Penny said. Yes. I will have to offer him my apologies for the situation you've found yourself into, Ironwood said. Situation? What situation? Penny asked. Your father entrusted me to your care with the clause that I'd protect you. But considering all the dangerous situations you've found yourself in since I let you join this team, I certainly failed. I wonder what he'll think, Ironwood said. I thank you for your worrying, General, but it's misplaced, Penny said. Misplaced? Ironwood asked. You should know it better than anyone. There's nothing in this world for me to fear. That's the clause you gave my father in exchange for your sponsor, no. Now, I'm sorry, but I need to go pull my partner out of bed. Or she will sleep through lunch. Salutations, Penny said. Penny then entered her dorm room. David and Deku had told Madonna about how they got into their relationship. And that's when Evelyn ran into the bathroom. Seeing me on full display before quickly running into the kitchen, Deku said. I remember my school day being crazy, but yours seems like something out of one of my books, Madonna said. So you're a writer, Miss Madonna? Jack asked. Again, with the miss. You flatter. Anyway, yes. I've just finished a pretty big series and I thought I'd take an extended vacation in Vale to get some inspiration for my next endeavor, Madonna said. I bet they're romance novels, David said. Ethan adult-only sighed. Even if it seems. Will you excuse me one moment? I've found the person I came here for, Madonna said. Where is she? Jack asked. She's heading to where Team JNPR and RWBY are, Deku said. The two teams had just entered the mess hall. I swear I will find a material you can't affect, Pyrrha. Other than wood, that is, Ruby said. You know that my manager actually had people researching that after someone came to our fight with a repeating wooden stake launcher, Pyrrha said. Oh man. That must have been hilarious, John said. It was actually quite the difficult fight. They spent a pretty lion on making that thing, Pyrrha said. Maybe they were researching an anti-vampire weapon, Nora said. Vampires aren't real, Nora, John said. Really, now? I remember you were convinced otherwise the first time Teresa came back home late, Madonna said. Oh, come on, I was a little boy. What was I supposed to think when I see my older sister come back home with her neck, John said. John then realized who he was talking to. You can't, John said. I can't what, Janaku? Madonna asked. Janaku, Pyrrha said. Jan, who is this woman? Ren asked. I like it. Janaku. Blondie scaredy flaily all stuffed with fluff, Nora said. Well. Where's my hug? Madonna asked. No, Jan shouted as he ran away. You come back here right this moment, Jan Ark, Madonna shouted. Madonna the chased after Jan. What exactly is happening here? Jack asked. I have no idea. But I didn't think Jan was that fast, David said. I didn't think she was that fast on her feet, Jack said. Leaving in the middle of the night. Without even a letter. Do you know how worried we all were? Madonna shouted. I'm sorry, Jan shouted. Sorry doesn't even begin to cut it, mister. You're in big trouble. And we haven't even touched about how you even got in here in the first place, Madonna said. How do you even? Wah, Jaun said. Oh my gods, Jaun, Pyrrha shouted. Damn, the precise. Wait, she's not wearing sandals, Young said. I think she brought one along on purpose just so she could nick him in the forehead. The mysterious assailant came prepared, Ren said. Hey, no one give Jaun concussions except Magnhild, Nora said. I hope you're prepared for the hell which is about to be visited upon you, Mr. Ark, Madonna said. Wah, Daddy, Jaun whined. Hey. Hands and footwear off him, crazy lady. I don't know what your deal is or how you know these dark, deep embarrassing secrets, but I'm not letting you hurt Jaunapu any longer, Nora said, standing between Jaun and Madonna. No, Nora, run. And please don't call me that, Jaun said. I guess beating the tar out of you in front of her would be slightly emasculating, wouldn't it? But you're not off the hook yet, young man. We're going to march to your team's room and you're going to tell me everything that's been going on with you since you left home, Madonna said. Yes, Jaun said. I'm coming too, Nora said. I figured as much. You're more than welcome, Miss Madonna said. I'm Nora, Nora said. Nora. I'm Madonna, Madonna said. So, that just happened. Anyone care to explain, Blake asked. We'll try, but we don't exactly know much more, David said. Hey, guys. So, what's the deal with Terra, Blonde Young said. We don't know. We met her a few days ago in Vale and she seemed nice, David said. She told us she came to Beacon to look for a student. I guess it was Jaun, Jack said. I've never seen Jaun so terrified. I mean, they seem to know each other, but... Will he be alright, Pyrrha asked. Well, let's go wait in front of the dorm, if you're so worried, Pyrrha, David said. I'll pass. Already got enough enjoyment out of this whole scenario, Weiss said. Weiss, Ruby said. Same. There's no telling how long it'll take, and I have to get to Vale, Blake said. Told you, you should have pre-ordered it, Young said. Shut up, Blake said. The rest of them then waited outside the dormitory. It's taking a while, Young said. Yeah, Ruby said. Nora is in there, so. But still, Pyrrha said. I know, right, Ruby said. Wanna bet on how many limbs he comes back with, Young asked. Young, Ruby and Pyrrha said. I wonder what her relationship with Jaun is, David said. I may have an idea, Ren said. Sem like we're thinking the same thing, Ren, Deku said. Well, do share, Jack said. Her choice of language, the way Jaun is terrified of her, Ren said. And her choice of weaponry. Methinks she may be, Deku said. They are coming out. They are coming out, Ruby said. Madonna, Jaun and Nora had now joined the others in the garden. Sorry for the wait. 7 months and counting are a lot to catch up on, Madonna said. Guys. You won't believe this, Nora said. We've reached an agreement and decided to delay his punishment until the end of the semester. It may be lessened by long calls to your sisters, particularly the younger twins, who thought it was their fault you left, Madonna said. I'm sorry, Jaun said. Now, are you going to properly introduce me to your friends, Jaun, Madonna asked. Oh, man. Guys, may I introduce you to Madonna? My mother, Jaun said. What, Young said. I know, right, Nora said. So we were right, Ren said. Now the ass kicking makes sense, Jack said. Jaun got his ass kicked by his mom. But damn, she's a babe, Young said. Jaun's mom. Jaun's mom. Jaun's mom, Pyrrha repeated. Right. She's so young and pretty, Ruby said. Jaun's mom. Jaun's mom. Jaun's mom, Pyrrha repeated again. You okay there, Pyrrha, Young asked. Jaun's mom, Pyrrha said. Pyrrha then quickly ran up to Madonna. "Miss Ark, it's a great pleasure and incredible privilege to meet you. I'm Pyrrha, your son's partner," Pyrrha said. "Pyrrha? Hey, that was my spot," Nora said. "Yes, so I've heard. My son has told me about everything you've done for him. Seems like he lucked out, having such a pretty and dependable girl as his partner," Madonna said. "Thanks," Pyrrha blushed. "I must admit, I didn't think he would have it so good. So many friends, a great partner and such a nice girlfriend," Madonna said. "Girlfriend?" Pyrrha asked. "Mom, come on," Jaun said. "Jaun's got a girlfriend, now." "Oh man," Young said. "Did Weiss finally give in?" Ruby asked. "Not that I know. Her latest refusal was particularly creative," Ren said. "Miss Ark, I'm sorry, but..." "What girlfriend?" Pyrrha asked. "You're cutting off her point of view right now," Nora said. "Nora," Pyrrha yelled. "Blake is gonna be so sorry she missed this. It's straight out of one of her books," Young laughed. "I'm so confused," Ruby said. "Mom, I told you. Nora is not my girlfriend," Jaun said. "Oh, shush, of course she is," Madonna said. "No she's not," Pyrrha yelled. "Well, she's the only one who tried to stop and confront me when I was chastising Jaun," Madonna said. "Chastising, she says?" Jack said. "Who else could love him enough to get in the way of motherly retribution but his girlfriend, when not even his wonderful partner stepped in?" Madonna said. "Makes sense to me," Nora said. Pyrrha then began to laugh and then quickly ran away. What's with her, Jaun?" Madonna asked. "I have no idea. But I should go check on her," Jaun said. "That's my boy. Remember to call your sisters," Madonna said. "I will. See you later, Mom." "Pyrrha, what's wrong?" "Wait," Jaun said, chasing after Pyrrha. Already running after other girls. "This relationship needs some ground rules," Jaunapu, Nora said, then chasing after Jaun. "I should follow them as well." "I was great making your acquaintance," Miss Ark, Ren said. "Yeah, let's go as well." "Thanks for the laughs," Miss Young said. "Come visit us again. We want to hear a lot of stories about Jaun," Ruby said. "That was different," David said. "So Jaun ran away from home?" Jack asked. "In a way. The story is complicated, but I'd be happy to tell you another time. Now, I have a copy sign event in a couple hours in Vale, so I should go back. But I'd love to meet you again. Particularly you boys," Madonna said. "Why us?" Deku asked. "A business proposal, my dears." "I will call you during the week," Madonna said. "But you don't have our numbers," David said. "Don't I?" Madonna asked. Madonna then left. "That was cryptic," Jack said. "To say the least," Deku said. Meanwhile Evelyn and Penny were out on the balcony. "So? Wanna tell me what this is all about?" Penny Evelyn asked. "Nothing much. I just decided to take this opportunity," Penny said. "Yeah, and I'd like you to clarify what you're going to turn this opportunity into." "And why alone?" Evelyn asked. "We can't get you further into trouble, no. And there are things I have to verify before sharing them with you," Penny said. "Why?" Evelyn asked. "Because they are tied to something about me. Something secret. I want to share it with you all. But first I have to verify that something," Penny said. "Just so you know, at the first sign of trouble in the school we'll come running," Berlin said. "I know. But if all goes well, I will be finished by the time you arrive," Penny said. Evelyn then hugged Penny. "Evelyn," Penny said. "I felt like hugging you all of a sudden." "You silly ginger," Evelyn said. Okay," Penny blushed. It was now late in the evening and the sun was about to set. "I'm going," Thilla said. "Break a leg. You're going to be on your own, so Try not to get captured alive, at least Howard said. Thiller then went to leave. Thiller, wait, Bella said. You should be in bed, Howard said. Zip it, asshole, Bella said. Zipping it, Howard said. Thiller. You shouldn't go. Not for me. What if it's a trap, Bella asked. It isn't, Thiller said. How can you be so sure, Bella asked. First of all, Beacon is Ozpin's domain. The rule about keeping the illusion of peace rings true for everyone who enters it. Second. Penny isn't that kind of person, Thiller said. You barely know her, Bella said. She gives me that feeling. And have my feelings ever betrayed me, Thiller asked. Please be careful, Bella said. I will, Thiller said. In Team JPDE's dorm room. I'm going then, Penny said. Break a leg, Jack said. Or better yet, break her legs, Evelyn said. What she said? And Penny, David said. Yes, Penny asked. I don't feel comfortable in sending you out there to confront Thiller alone. But still, I want you to know that I believe in you. And that if you say that you're going to be fine. I believe that you're going to be, David said. Thanks, David, Penny said. Hey Penny, Deku said. Yes, Ijuku, Penny said. There's another message from your father, which he asked me to keep from you until the right time. And I think this may be it, Deku said. A message from father? Other than the sandwiches, Penny asked. Yes. I don't know what that means, but... He says the limit is 3 minutes, Deku said. What does that even mean, Evelyn asked. I think I know. Yes, this was the right time. Thank you, Ijuku, Penny said. Penny then went to wait for Thiller at the Bullhead Landing. By the time Thiller arrived, it was now dark. Welcome back to Beacon, Thiller, Penny said. Thanks. Want to do this here, Thiller asked. No, let's move to the gardens. It's so pretty there, Penny said. Sure, Thiller said. Penny and Thiller then made their way to the gardens. You were right. It's pretty here, Thiller said. Yes. A lot of people come from Vale just to hang around this area. I think 65% are couples, Penny said. Do you come here with David and Ijuku a lot, Thiller asked. No, not really. I mean, you think I should? I haven't, Penny blushed. You're so obvious, Penny, Thiller laughed. Thanks. I think, Penny said. You shouldn't be this open in front to an enemy, Thiller said. I don't consider you an enemy, Thiller, Penny said. I'm here to take something precious from you, am I not, Thiller asked. So? You won't reconsider, Penny asked. I'm sorry, Penny. I can't, Thiller said. So? You want to get past me, Penny asked. Well. I'm curious about what else you wanted to talk about. And I'd like my diary back, Thiller said. Oh, of course. Here it is, Penny said. Thank you, Thiller said. You're welcome. So, I read it, and Penny said. And Thiller asked. When we read the last entry on it, a passage caught my attention. That passage treated Bella and her body like two different and spirit entities, whose coexistence is causing her harm. And as I read through the rest of the diary, that concept is expressed more than once, Penny said. You've already read all of it, Thiller asked. I'm a quick reader. Anyway, that made me think that maybe, theoretically, Bella's current body isn't her original one, Penny said. That's a pretty wild theory. No one has ever heard of such a thing in stories, Thiller said. Yes. But we know so little of the world, and scientists in Atlas are studying ways to transfer and exchange aura. Considering its close relationship with the soul, switching bodies can no longer be considered an impossibility, Penny said. All right. Let's say that's true. What of it, Thiller asked. If it's true, the question remains. Who did she switch bodies with? And why? As I thought about it, a number of details came to my mind. Like your closeness to Bella, Penny said. We may just be allies, Thiller said. Howard is your ally too, but he's not as close to Bella as you are. So what makes your relationship different? Two more details came to mind. First, your semblance. Your semblance has different conditions, but the effects are very similar to Jack's, while Bella's semblance is completely out there, Penny said. That doesn't really mean anything, though. Relatives aren't bound to have similar semblances, Thiller said. True. But I couldn't help but make the connection. And then there's another detail. This one given by you to Jack, during the apartment incident, Penny said. Oh. I honestly didn't remember doing that until now, Thiller said. Because it was instinctual. Unplanned. Calling Jack by her second name, a name that only those close to her could know. Sure, there was the possibility that you could have heard it from Bella, even that time at the exhibition match. But you addressed Jack by that name, with a familiarity that shook her, Penny said. Penny then recounted her conversation with Jack on this. I mean, considering how close she gravities around Bella, maybe she just heard it from her, Penny said. It's probably what happened, but the way she said it, Penny. She had no reason to call me by that name in that situation, and in that way. Just. What does it mean? Jack asked. I don't know. But I think we can find out, Penny said. So, I started thinking. What if the reason why you're so close to Bella is because of gratitude and guilt? What if something happened between you and Bella that advantaged you but left her in such a precarious state? Penny asked. What are you asking? Penny, Thiller asked. Are you Isabella Ivory? Penny asked. You know, you could have just asked that to begin with, Thiller said. I could have, Penny asked. But I guess you're more the logical type, aren't you? I bet you have been preparing this little back and forth for days, Thiller said. I didn't know if you would have told me, Penny said. So you wanted to make me psychologically crumble or something? I have been living with this knowledge for more than a decade now. Brining it out in the open doesn't really affect me, Thiller said. That's not what you said, Penny said. I must commend your ability to think outside the box. No one would ever consider such a thing because, as I said, it only ever happens in fairy tales. So stupid. Their very existence is threatened by things made of nightmares, and they balk at the thought of truth in legends, Thiller said. Then it's true. You're Isabella, Penny said. Just call me Thiller. More often than not, Bella's body makes her call herself by my name, so it's only fair I renounce my claim to it. But it is as you say. The soul of Isabella Ivory resides in Thiller Sven's body, and vice versa, Thiller said. Only the soul? Penny asked. Only the soul. As I said, you were off with the semblances. My aura, and with it, my semblance, stayed in my original body, and so did Thiller's, Thiller said. But that's. You underwent a process that switched your soul while leaving your aura. How is that possible? Penny asked. Soul and aura may be profoundly intertwined, but they are not the same thing. Risky as it may be, that connection can be severed, Thiller said. How? Penny asked. With magic. Why so surprised, Penny? Did you believe that David's existence could be explained with technology? Thiller asked. Maybe xenobiology, Penny said. No, it was magic. It was magic that helped me and damned Bella. And it is magic, the magic that made him, that will help her in the end. Free her, free us both, Thiller said. Thiller, please, Penny said. You know how blood transfusions work, Penny. You cannot get just anyone's blood, you need to be compatible. Souls work the same way, apparently, Thiller said. Thiller then attacked Penny. Thiller, I can help you, My father, Penny said. And just like certain blood types, there are bodies that can receive anyone's soul. Thyla's is such a body. Mine wasn't. So I could be saved, and for the boss's ambition. Her life was ruined. She can't even go out on a date with a boy she has a crush on. For that reason, it doesn't matter who I have to walk over, Penny. You, my sister, Howard, Weser, the boss himself. I will crush anything and anyone in our way until we can fix this. Me and her together, Thyla said. You won't allow us to help, Penny asked. You can't help us, Penny. Our only chance is by using David, combine his semblance with hers, Thyla said. You could have just asked, Penny said. As of now, if we even look like we're trying to defy the boss, we're dead. I'm sorry, Penny, but you will have to move aside, Thyla said. I can't, Thyla, Penny said. I know you won't. But it would have made this so much easier, Thyla said. Thyla and Penny then began to fight. Penny was able to hold her own this time, being able to keep up with Thyla's increasing speed. Ah, Thyla said. Thyla. Please, stop, Penny said. Never, Thyla said. Thyla the deliver a flurry of quick hits to Penny. Penny was sent back and landed on the ground. This took more out of me than I thought, Thyla said. I was right. The longer you move without stopping, Penny said, the faster I become. Yes, that's my semblance. But I've never met someone as sturdy as you, Penny, Thyla said. Thanks. But please do not talk like this is over, Penny said. Penny. Please stay down, Thyla said. I can't, Thyla. And remember what I said. There's no way you're doing anything to my friends. While I'm here, Penny said. Penny, please. You barely have any aura left. I don't want to hurt you any further, Thyla said. I didn't want to either. But you're so strong. Too strong. I can't continue like this, Penny said. Penny. Whatever you want to do, you don't have the aura for it, Thyla said. Thyla. I have a question for you. What's the difference between a human brain and a digital brain, Penny asked. I don't know, Penny, Thyla said. Then you lose, Penny said. Up in Ozpin's tower. Never, Ozpin. She never talked to anyone, let alone me, like that, Ironwood said. I assume she's entering her rebellious phase, then Ozpin said. Yes. That's exactly the problem. A phase she was never supposed to enter, Ironwood said. All teens eventually do. Unless you had reasons to assume that wouldn't happen to Miss Polendina, Ozpin asked. Ironwood said. Ironwood's scroll then went off. The lab ship. Excuse me, Ozpin, Ironwood said. Ironwood then answered the call. What is it, Ironwood asked. General. It's an emergency. It's Penny, the caller said. Did something happen to her, Ironwood asked. Sir, no sir. It's sensor Philae. She activated it, they said. She what, Ironwood asked. There was then a large explosion coming from the gardens. James. I think it's high time you tell me who or what you brought to my school, Ozpin said. Penny, Ironwood said. The rest of Team Jade were out on the balcony and heard the explosion from the gardens. The gardens. What's happening, Jack asked. We have to go, Deku said. Oh gods, Penny. Didn't you say you just want to talk, Evelyn asked. The whole of the gardens were now on fire. This can't, Thyla said. Her aura came back. Stronger than before. And it's still rising. And her movements, Thyla thought. Penny. What are you, Thyla asked. Penny had all her swords drawn and she had a black mask covering the right side of her face. Target reacquired. Prime directive. Defeat Phyllis Van Penny robotically said. End of chapter 22.